and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. So for those of you who are new and who may not know who I am, my name is Christiane, otherwise known here as IHeartAirbrush, and today's video we're going to be talking about the differences and the pros and cons, in my opinion of course, between the new Dinair Airstyle and their previous portable model, the Dinair Go. So if you're interested in learning about some of the differences between the two portable systems and some of the pros and cons that I've found using both systems myself personally, then please keep on watching. Alright, so let's get to the tech specs on each system, and then we'll go ahead and do the full-on comparison. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Dinair Go. So the Dinair Go retails for about $229, and that's for the whole kit, of course. If you want to know what comes in a kit, I will go ahead and link that video in the description box below for the Dinair Go, as well as the other videos that I've done featuring this model in particular. It'll be down there for you if you want to go ahead and check that out, because I'm not going to go into too much detail on what comes in the kit because this video is not about that. So back to the Dinair Go. So the Dinair Go looks like this. It has a rubberized shock-proof body. As you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but if I get close enough, the Dinair logo is actually built into, it's almost like a molded in to the actual compressor itself, which is very sleek, of course. It does have a built-in airbrush holder that is here on the top. That's what this little hole is here, so that the airbrush that comes with the Go kit sits there nice and compact-like. It is about the size of a credit card, so it's relatively small. As you can see, it fits in the palm of my hand easy with tons of extra room. There's been a few times where I've literally had this compressor in my pocket while I was applying makeup on myself or even another person. So yes, this model has the perfect compact design for sure. Now it does have the hose attached here in the back like the Personal Pro and other models. It just attaches in the back like so. Right next to where the hose plugs in, we have where you can go ahead and charge the unit, and that's just your standard wall adapter. This is just one piece here, and it has that little end here that we're used to seeing on the Personal Pro kit. Let's see if I can block it off so you can see that. And then of course your standard wall adapter. Like I said, this is all one piece and it's all attached, of course, and that's how you go ahead and charge the Go. Now it doesn't have a light indicator, and I did go ahead and complain about this before because I would have liked to see a little light indicator on the actual charger itself, but so far I haven't had any problems as far as charging it or anything like that, or checking and making sure that it is being charged. So the charging plug just goes right back here and it sits there nice and pretty next to the hose. Perfect, like I said, compact design, doesn't get in the way or anything. If you look on the bottom of the compressor here, it has a little compartment here that houses the rechargeable battery. So you can see that can go ahead and be replaced after time if you find that, you know, it's losing its charge or it's not lasting as long as it normally does, because rechargeable batteries only last so long, especially if you're charging them all the time, which I am charging mine all the time. You can go ahead and replace that battery if you need to. I'm pretty sure you can go ahead and replace that battery. I will double check with Dinair customer service. Don't take my word for that in particular. Definitely go ahead and call customer service and see if that is something that can be replaced, but I assume that you can, because it's just a standard rechargeable lithium battery. It's just a standard rechargeable battery, so I'm pretty sure you can go ahead and replace that. Now this system also comes with a special model airbrush. This is the Go CX model airbrush. It has a more compact body as opposed to the regular CX airbrush. The tail end here is a lot smaller. Now I did do a comparison video between the Go airbrush and the regular CX, which of course will be in the description box below, so you can go ahead and check that out. This has a really nice smooth spray, and it's also coupled in here with Dinair's floating nozzle, of course. If you know anything about Dinair systems, you know they had the JX model and the CX model. The difference between the two was the nozzle type. So this CX Go brush has the floating nozzle here. And I'll go ahead and show you really quick. That's what it looks like. When I say floating nozzle, it just pops right out. There's no need for, don't ever do that because you can poke yourself, but there's no need for any kind of small wrenches or things like that, like you would have seen in the JX model or other airbrushes out on the market. So that is it for the look of this system. As far as the sound goes, this is relatively quiet in comparison to the Personal Pro kit. I'm going to go ahead and click it on. You can definitely go ahead and hear it is extremely quiet. Like, I can talk over it and everything. Even with the airbrush sitting inside, it makes slightly of a hissing sound, but still not even as loud as a lot of the other compressors out on the market right now. So definitely sleek, compact, and quiet. It definitely has its merits for sure. Now the specs on this compressor, the speed, it is a 1-speed compressor, which means you click this on, click it off, you get 1 speed, but that speed is perfect to go ahead and complete a full face application. It has been said that it kind of mimics the 12 o'clock speed on the normal compressors. I found that it might be slightly less than 12 o'clock in my personal experience with it, because I did notice that it does have a little bit of trouble pushing out some of the thicker formulas consistently, as well as some of the shimmer shades that have a little bit thicker of glitter, like for example like Tea Time or Wonderland. I did notice a little bit of lag with this system, of course, trying to push those colors out. So that was manageable. I would work really fast with those colors, and I was able to go ahead and push them out. It didn't deter me from actually using the system itself. I continued to use it on a day-to-day basis, and if I was on the move and going around the house doing my makeup, as you might know, we'll talk about it later. But yes, I would take this system around the house and I have no problem doing my makeup and getting through a full face routine. Now, as for runtime on this system, it runs for about an hour of continuous use. So you can get a good amount of use out of the system on one charge. And even though it runs for 1 hour, you can also use it while it's plugged in as well. So you do have that ability to go ahead and use it on its own or plugged into a wall, so it still makes it pretty versatile. And that 1 hour mark is pretty true to my experience with the Dinair Go. I didn't really have to charge it as often as I thought that I would. Of course, I can get through a full face of makeup in about 10 minutes, so you can kind of see that I can get through probably 6 full faces of makeup on one charge with the Dinair Go, and definitely making sure that I was turning it off when I wasn't actively spraying helped me extend the battery life in between charges. So runtime, charge time, pretty good for a portable model. So that is all that I have to say about the Dinair Go kit right now. So now let's get on to the Airstyle. So Dinair released their first handheld portable model, like, I don't even know, like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Anyways, it was announced on Facebook Live. I literally jumped out of my seat when I was watching. So this is what the Dinair Airstyle looks like. Yes, beautiful, sleek, handheld design, fits perfectly in the hand like so. So the Dinair Airstyle runs for about $229. It's usually $249, but right now it's on an introductory rate of $229. So right now it's about the same price as a Go kit. The look of it, of course, it is a handheld device, so you can see it's elongated here to allow for grip in the hand like so. The body is slightly longer than that of the Dinair Go compressor. Not by much, but by maybe roughly 2.5 inches or so, which is not bad at all for it being a handheld. It definitely does not get in the way. The airbrush here is not, unlike the Dinair Go, the airbrush is actually attached to this handle here, so you cannot remove the airbrush. And the model airbrush we have here is the BA model airbrush. It is about the same size as the Go airbrush. The only difference here is the nozzle and the caps here. So on this one, we have a JX style nozzle. This is not the floating nozzle. This is a JX style nozzle. So I'll go ahead and show you up close. So far, that seems to be the only difference, other than the fact that this is attached to the handle, than that of the Go model airbrush. So on the front here, we have the on and off button. And then on the side here, we have Dinair's printed logo here. It's not built in, it's just printed here. So still pretty sleek, very pretty design. So the difference between this and the Go is there is no compartment to replace the rechargeable battery. The battery is built in here. And how it also differs is this model actually has a USB charger. So the charging cord comes in 2 parts, and you have this part here, and then you have the wall adapter like so. I will go ahead and link my unboxing video in the description box below for you if you want to go ahead and see exactly what comes in the kit. I talk about all of this in more detail, of course. But yes, this is the 2-part charger here. We have the wall adapter here with the wall plug, and then you have the USB charger, which means that you can pretty much charge this wherever you can plug in a USB, which is pretty amazing. So as for sound, the sound on this model is slightly louder than that of the Go model. It's actually significantly louder than the Go model, in my personal opinion. On camera, the microphones tend to pick it up a lot more. In person, it's not as loud as what I've noticed it to be on camera, of course. But it is definitely significantly louder than that of the Go model. So I'm going to go ahead and click it on so you can actually hear how much louder this is in a minute when we go ahead and compare the two to see how much the sound varies. So the specs on this is that it is a 1-speed compressor as well, and I found that it is the perfect speed to go ahead and do a full face of foundation, and this one is more true to being like 12 o'clock-ish. I had no problems spraying out some of the tougher shimmer shades with this one. It came out smoothly and perfectly, which was very surprising considering the nozzle type. I definitely thought that I would run into some trouble, but nope, no trouble with the nozzle or the pressure in this handheld device. In my personal opinion, I think that it's a little bit more powerful than that of the Go, just because, like I said, I had no problems shooting out those thicker formulas or those little bit thicker, chunkier shimmer shades. So definitely think that this one is more powerful than that of the Go, but like I said, both can be used to apply a full face airbrush makeup application. I've done it with both. It can be done. Now, unlike the Go model, this one only has a runtime of about 35 minutes of continuous use. So because I've already trained myself with the Go model to go ahead and click it off when I'm not actively spraying, what I like so much about this is that I have also trained myself to click it off when I'm actively spraying, but it's so much easier because the way it sits in my hand, my pinky sits perfectly on that little on and off button. So I can literally click it on, click it off, like not even having to go out of my way. Whereas if I was using the Go model and I'd have it on the countertop, I would have to have my airbrush either put it in my other hand, click it off, or I would have to click it off while I'm holding my airbrush at the same time. So yeah, that can take a little bit more time, and I did notice that I was a lot faster because it was literally stuck in my hand and I was clicking it on and off. My routine went a lot faster. But back to what we were talking about, 35 minutes of continuous use, okay, as opposed to the about an hour of continuous use using the Dinair Go. Now, I don't know the tech specs of it. It could be because the smaller size body of this one requires a smaller battery. Who knows? I don't know the tech specs of it. 35 minutes is more than enough time, especially if you're clicking it on and off. In my personal use of this compressor, I've been able to do 2 full faces and then do my mom routine, about 3 of those, which is just concealer, eyeliner, and brows, and occasionally blush. If I'm feeling a little fancy, you know, I'll apply some blush. But I was able to go ahead and get through 2 full face glamorous routines like this that you see here, and then 3 of my mom routines, which is just the simple basic, you know, refresh the face, look awake kind of looks. Hopefully that'll give you an idea about the kind of use that you can get out of this model here. So with that being said, I want to do a little bit of a sound comparison because I know that is a big thing for a lot of people. It doesn't really bother me, to tell you the truth. Like I said, I love this model. I've been reaching for it every single day because I love the portability of not having a hose. Once again, doesn't have a hose. This is a handheld model. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it does not have a hose. So it doesn't get in the way. It's literally the perfect size. You can go ahead and get in those tight spaces without worrying about being restricted or anything. Clearly do backflips while I'm doing airbrush makeup and not have to worry about anything. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick sound comparison between the two so you can kind of see. So this is the first time you're going to be hearing the sound of the handheld Airstyle model here. So let's go ahead and click it on. And so as you can hear, it's relatively louder, but then the body style is more of a hard plastic as opposed to the rubberized body style of the Go. So I'm going to go ahead and click it off now. And then I'm going to click on the Go here so you can go ahead and hear that yes, it is a lot more quieter, but then it does have that rubberized body, which I think has to do with, you know, the sound being muted so much. So now I'm going to click them both on so you can hear them when they're both on together. So as you can see here, this one definitely overpowers the sound of this one. And of course the camera is going to make it sound a lot louder than it really is, just because my camera is going to pick up the frequency here or the sound here a lot more because it is a little bit louder. But in person, it's not as loud as some of the other compressors that I own, like the Vogue Air or the Temptu 2.0 compressor. So this is definitely doable. It's workable. Like I said, I've been using it every day since I got it, and I'm absolutely in love with it. All right, so now that I've given you a few details, of course, about each of the systems separately, as well as touched on some of the comparisons between the two, let's go ahead and talk pros and cons of each system. So, and this is all based on ease of use, portability, and things like that. So starting off with the Go model, what I like about the Go model, which is a huge pro, is the rubberized body. I feel like it being shockproof and rubberized kind of mutes the sound a lot. I also think that the fact that this is such a quiet compressor is a huge pro, because you can definitely pull it out anywhere and not have to worry about, you know, the sound that the compressor is making. What I also like is that this is a gravity feed airbrush, as well as it being a compact model. Another pro of this is it does have an opening where you can access the rechargeable battery, so you can go ahead and replace that if it needed to be replaced, just extending the life of your unit, of course. Now, of course, because nothing is perfect, we're going to touch on a few cons. So a couple of cons would be the hose. As far as portability, this is great, but you still have the hose, which can get in the way sometimes. Another con I found is that on the AC adapter, the wall charger, there's no indicator light, and that makes it very difficult, because sometimes if you have outlets go out, you'd have no idea if your unit was charging or not. And that was a fear of mine, and I did talk about this in my initial review and demo of the Go, that I really would have loved to see a little indicator light on the actual wall plug-in. Another con for me, just because, you know, I'm like super spoiled now, is the fact that this is not a USB charger. This is actually just the wall adapter. It's attached. It's all one piece. Now, you can definitely go ahead and charge this in the car still with a little charger that they have for the car, but that is another added expense on top of the price tag for the actual kit. So it would have been nice to go ahead and have something that was a little bit more on-the-go friendly as far as charging capabilities. So that's about it for the Go. As you can see, there's not a lot of cons, of course, because I do really think that this model is extremely great, and I've been attached to it for so long. Even though I have tried other portable models out on the market, this was always my go-to for a portable model. Now, since they've come out with the Airstyle, this has to have replaced the Go in my heart. No offense to the Go. Like I said, the Go is an amazing compressor, but it did have a little bit of a hard time pushing out some of the thicker formulas, as well as some of the thicker glitter or chunkier glitter shades. Now I find with the Airstyle, I don't have that problem. I can go ahead and push out thicker formulas like Extreme, the Paramedical, the Camouflage Neutralizer. I can go ahead and push out shimmer shades like Tea Time with minimal effort. I mean, it sprays out so beautifully, guys. I think this one definitely is more true to the 12 o'clock on the Personal Pro compressors. I definitely don't have any problems with the Dinair Airstyle as far as getting makeup out and getting through my routine quickly. I also like the fact that it fits in your hand. So here it's like I have the portability of a makeup brush. I have the portability of a makeup brush, but I can get the results of an actual airbrush. So, I mean, hands down, that is the most amazing thing to me. What I also like about this kit is the fact that it does have a USB charger, which means I can charge it pretty much anywhere I need to go. Now, the great thing about both kits is that you can charge it while you're using it. So definitely both kits do have their merits, but what I love about this one is that USB charger, guys, because I don't have to worry about fiddling with adapters or anything like that. Any place I can plug in a USB, I can go ahead and charge my unit, which is amazing. What I also like here is that this is a top feed airbrush. Now, like I said, I've tried other portable models on the market, and I have not been too fond about the system that they use. I prefer the gravity feed airbrush just because I feel like it's a little bit more precise, and I have a lot more freedom in the gravity feed airbrush. I was not a huge fan of the fact that the nozzle was not a floating nozzle on this one, but like I said, after using it, I found that I had no problems with it being the JX style nozzle. Like, I have no problems with that at all. It still sprays beautifully and I can get through my routines super quick, no matter if I'm using extreme or thicker formula, or no matter if I'm using super pigmented shimmer shades. Definitely not a problem at all, which is flipping amazing. Oh, and I am a huge fan of the fact that they did include a little indicator light to let you know that this unit was charging. Thank you so much for that, by the way. That is a huge pro, because now I have the comfort in knowing that my unit is charging when it's plugged into the wall. So if I had to pick some cons, the first con would be the fact that it's a little bit noisier than the Go model airbrush. Definitely click it on, you can hear that it's a lot louder than the Go model. Doesn't deter me from using it at all. Like I said, I'm in it to win it with that portability, that handheld, that freedom that I have to not be tied down to anything. I absolutely love it. So I really don't care. I wouldn't care if this sounded like a car horn. I would still use it, because the fact of the matter is it has so much more pros to it that the sound of it really doesn't bother me as much. Another con that I would say with this one in comparison to the Go would be the fact that the battery only runs for about 35 minutes of continuous use. I would like to see it run for a lot longer than that, considering that the Go runs for about an hour or so. I would definitely have wanted this to run for a little bit longer, but like I said, so far I haven't had a problem with it, and the fact that you can go ahead and use it while it's on the charger kind of makes it not a big deal, I guess, in that sense, because you can have it on the charger when you're using it. If you need to move or maneuver, it's a quick unplug, get what you need to get done, plug it back in, and you're still good to go. There's nothing that's going to hinder you from completing your routine. And the final con that I think would be for me is the fact that this right here is not detachable. I know that's like a random thing here, and I actually do kind of like the fact that it's not detachable, but then part of me doesn't like the fact that it's not detachable, because if I ever had any problems with my airbrush here, I'm kind of stuck at the fact that this doesn't come out and I can't swap it out. So, I mean, that's a minor con. It's not really a con. I guess if you're nitpicky, then it might be a con, but yeah, I just figured I'd go ahead and mention that. So that's about it for both of these systems. Like I said, they're both wonderful systems. So definitely look at the pros and cons, listen to the specs of each one, and decide what fits you the most, and what fits what you'd be using it for the most. Like me, I do a full face of airbrush makeup, so it really makes the most sense to go ahead and use the Airstyle, because I do the shadow, because I do the liner and all of that. Freedom, portability is kind of what I need. If you're just using your airbrush for foundation, blush, bronze, and face, this will do just fine for you. You will have no problems with this. It is completely reliable. Replace the battery if anything ever goes down. Replace the airbrush if anything goes down. This is a good model to have too. So definitely weigh out the pros and cons. Figure out what it is that you're going to be using it for and what suits your needs the most when you decide if you're going to purchase either one of these kits. So finally, I guess it comes down to the last question, which I think I already addressed in this video, if you're paying attention. Which one do I prefer? I'm sorry, but the Airstyle wins it. I prefer the Airstyle. I reach for it every single day since the moment I got it, and I literally, it's going strong, and it's going to be going strong in my beauty room, on my vanity, in my car. It's going to be going strong in the kitchen. It's going to be going strong outside, like, just because I can do my makeup anywhere, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it, and it definitely suits my lifestyle, what I need personally for a makeup applicator. So that wraps up this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it and found it informative and helpful. And then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you can join my airbrush family. I would love to have you join my airbrush family. And if you decide to go ahead and join the family here at IHeartAirbrush, or if you've already joined the family, don't forget to go ahead and hit that notification bell. That way you get informed right away when I upload or post a video. Alright, so that is it for this video. I will see you guys in my next one. I hope to see you guys in my next one. I love you. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.